Okay, we're now starting on the electrics. So the first job is to disconnect the lighting loom from the rear bumper and to pull it through the hole in the boot that it actually comes through. So there's the hole. Originally that was through there. So all we've done is we've released that grommet and we have pulled that cable through. We've now sorted out the wiring loom, and the first thing we're looking for is this grommet that in the instructions they call grommet T. This grommet is going to go into that hole that we've just pulled the other cable through. So these two cables are going to effectively be outside the car, and the rest of this cabling is going to be inside the car. So we have to pass all of this, including this relatively chunky multi-block connector, through that small hole in the car. We'll do that now. Being very careful with that connector not to catch the wires on the sharp metal edge. It's a bit tight, and the reason I'm putting this connector through first is it's the biggest and the most awkward to get through, and I want to do that when we've got the most space available. And there we go. And now we'll just continue to feed the rest of the connections through. Okay, so we've now pulled those cables through up to that grommet, and the grommet's been located in the hole. So we've now got the internal cables and we've got the external cables. Okay, we're looking at the cables outside the car. There are two separate cables, one of which is effectively a replacement for the cables that we disconnected from the rear lights, and the other one is the cable that is going to the trailer connection. So the routing of the two cables is clearly shown in the instructions, and this one comes over the top of this bar and it's going to get reconnected with a cable tie onto the plastic clip here where we removed the previous one, and the other cable is routed down the back and it's held on to the bracket and onto the tow bar itself with some cable ties. We'll do that now. So that's the cable to the trailer, cable tied on the bar as shown in the instructions, and also cable tied at the back. And this connection here, which is going to the bumper, has been reattached to the connector on the top there with some tape and a cable tie as well. Okay, we've finished cable tying everything up, and we've also fitted the connection on the back with the rubber grommet. Next job is to reconnect our new connections from the trailer wiring loom, from the tow bar wiring loom into the bumper, and reconnect the bumper at the back. Okay, let's lift the bumper into place. Right, that's the bumper reattached now. We can go in and finish off the wiring inside the car. We are connecting the female connectors in the new loom into the male connectors that were previously connected to the bumper. So basically the loom has allowed us just to cut some cables in. We're just carrying on methodically with reconnecting the electrics. So we've made the connection here and covered it in some of the soft tape, and that gets cable tied to the main new loom. We've also attached the earths to the earthing point that's already located here. Obviously I've fitted rear speakers in my car, you probably won't have that on yours. We fitted the earth, and now let's have a look at the balance of the connections. Is the big connection that goes into the electronic box, and that electronic box is then stuck with double-sided tape onto the sidewall there. Okay, we've completed the connections in the back. There are a couple of connections that I don't need to make. One is for connecting to the parking sensors. I don't have parking sensors fitted, and the other one is this orange and grey one, which is only required for certain connections on a caravan. So it's there, I can connect it up at some stage, but I have no intention of connecting it up just now. It's quite difficult to make all of these cables look tidy because there are quite a lot of them. and the loom is probably about 12 inches longer than it needs to be. But they're all in there, they're quite secure, they will be behind the panel, everything's cable tied, everything's padded and protected, so we can carry on. The last connection that I need to make is the one that goes right to the front of the car and connects into the fuse box. The front, we've just tracked it along the wiring loom from the back, along the existing wiring loom, taped it all along its length where the cables all come under the carpet to the front, and it's going to come out at the front in the footwell there. And this is the last cable to connect into the fuse box. This is a bit awkward to see. The final connection is into the fuse box, which is right in the passenger footwell, tucked up just there. Now there's a black plastic cover on this and it unclips from the front edge. So we now need to connect into that fuse box. This is the connection that's going into it. So we've put a 20 amp fuse in there, and that's now going to plug into the empty fuse. And there is a spare empty one you can just see on the top there. That's where this is going to get plugged in. That's the connection now made with the fuse in situ. I have to say, however, there is no way whatsoever that the cover will go back on that fuse box now that that raised fuse is in there. We've had a look at it. Without cutting a hole in it, there's no way it's going to go back on. And insofar as the fuses are protected by this kind of plastic cover on the bottom, we're not too worried. We'll just hold on to that fuse box cover and put it in the glove box. That should be all the electrics completed. All we've got to do now is put all the trim panels back on, and the job's a good one. Last job is just to reconnect the battery. We had the battery disconnected throughout the job, and we're good to go. That's the swan neck fitted, the removable tow bar, and the job's a good one. It's taken us about, realistically, it's honestly taken us about 4 hours, but we didn't have the benefit of this video and we've had to work things out as we go along. Hopefully anybody now watching this will find it a lot easier to mount the Suzuki tow bar. Ian, where's the final touch? There you are, the Suzuki cover, and there you are, the tow bar. We'll do some tests of the towing capability of the car in the very near future, but for just now, that's another good job well done. Thank you, Ian. Good one.